Good evening, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. Back again on a Sunday evening for the Kneejerk stream, reacting to everything Double Gameweek 32 and also looking ahead to Double Gameweek 33. I'm obviously joined by Jordan. How you doing today? You good?
Yeah, very well. Obviously, it's a nice weekend, obviously, for the double game week. It does feel like the single players have sort of won the first part of this double game week. But yeah, there's lots to break down and discuss over the matches we saw today.
Let's kick it off with my team on the screen. So in goal, I do have David Raya. Now, I didn't expect a clean sheet from Arsenal. If I'm being honest, I thought Arsenal will concede, and that's what happened. Arsenal took the lead via Partey, who scored, and then Wissa, who's having a great season. Lovely finish. He sort of bounces on the swivel. He hits it, and yeah, 1-1. Brentford ended up taking a point as well. So no clean sheet for Arsenal, and Saliba as well with a blank in that fixture, as you see in my defense. Dan Burn, unfortunately, Man United did score in my case. Obviously, I had Dan Burn. I wanted a clean sheet, but Garnacho scored a really nice goal, good breakaway, and then Garnacho with his left foot bottom corner slotted it away. So Newcastle obviously lost a clean sheet, but thoroughly deserved the win, it seems, in the end. Munoz, nothing really. This game was mad. I didn't watch it. I watched the highlights. I was actually in a birthday party at the time, so I couldn't watch the game. But yeah, when I saw the score 2-0 up, I was like, here we go. This could be anything for the likes of Mateta, Then Man City come out of nowhere from 2 goals down to win 5-2 in the end, which no one really saw coming. A lot of goals. But this is a game, there's usually a lot of goals, so maybe not a surprise in that case. But yeah, Munoz, 0-pointer. Very annoyingly, because you see Konsa on the bench, we'll come on to, outscores everyone so far, which is very annoying because I didn't expect him to start. Looking into the midfield four, Salah back to getting a return. I thought Salah was much, much better today, especially first half for Liverpool. Looked like his self he's been doing, all season. Lovely assist. He has a couple of really nice touches in the game. Also unlucky not to score. Had a one shot just past the post. So yeah, could have had a goal as well, Salah. And yeah, just the one assist for him. Liverpool's 2-1 win. Obviously, looked like Liverpool were gonna sort of throw it away, but then Van Dijk sort of last minute header wins Liverpool the game, and now it's 2 wins away for Liverpool to secure the title. Savinho is the one I'm very, very annoyed about, if I'm being honest. I think that's the decision that's made me go to a red arrow, I think. Because if I got in KDB, I didn't think of KDB, I'll be honest. I wasn't looking at KDB, but now I think about it more. Maybe considering why didn't I think of KDB? Because 12-pointer from him, free kick, got the assist as well for Kovacic's goal. Wish I went KDB. Now I massively regret going Savinho, but I've sort of made my bed now. I think I've got to lie in it and just keep him for the double game week because Savinho was benched. Did not see that one coming. If I'm being honest, I thought he'd 100% start. Now I'm very worried for that double game week because I don't think he's going to start both. I'll be very surprised. He only got 8 minutes against Palace, which is worrying if you're a Savinho owner. I just think at this moment, I can't take another hit to take him out for another Man City player. I just don't think it's worth it anymore, or even another player. I just think I've sort of screwed that move. I just got to hope I keep him for the double and see what he can do. But here's hoping he starts at least one of those games and then maybe comes off the bench for the second one. But yeah, it is what it is. Ismail Assar got an assist, lovely assist, put a cutback for Eze to tap in. It comes with a 5-pointer. Jacob Murphy, I believe, got an assist as well. I only managed to watch sort of the first half. First half. But yeah, he did pick up one assist, which is very, very nice. 2 goals last week, assist this week, doing really well. Obviously, Harvey Barnes is the one that popped off this week. It's been interesting though. I mean, Newcastle have scored 8 goals in the last couple of games, and Isak's not been involved in any of them. which is interesting in terms of obviously scoring. Obviously, Isak got the assist today. But yeah, moving on to Isak, 10 points as my captain, did get the assist. Very unfortunate, but maybe I didn't watch second half, as I said. Maybe surprised he didn't score. Obviously, when they score 4 goals, you'd expect Isak to get at least one. But happy with the captain choice in the end. He's got another game on Wednesday against Palace, which you'd expect Newcastle to win as well. And that would be massive for Newcastle because that win would take them above Nottingham Forest after the same amount of games played. So didn't see that one coming. Newcastle sort of coming through the back door and, going to finish right up there. And they're 4 points behind Arsenal if they win on Wednesday. So that's massive sort of recovery from Newcastle. And yeah, they're looking nailed now to get Champions League football for me. I think top 5. I'll be surprised if they don't get it now. Mateta, 1 pointer, played about 45 minutes, disappointing. When they went 2-0 up, obviously here you're thinking, they're going to go get more. Man City looked like they were struggling, but it wasn't to be. Man City obviously make the comeback. Mateta still has Newcastle away, tough game. Newcastle playing for Champions League football. Palace sort of not much to play for, so interesting to see what Isak and Mateta do in that game. But yeah, we'll see. And then finally, Marmoush carries on the form, 7-pointer. He did score a nice goal in that one as well. I think it was City's second goal to draw 2-2. Yeah, good finish. Happy to keep him and very happy for next week as well when he's got a double coming up. Probably the only good City asset that's nailed because you can't trust the Man City midfield. It seemed with Pep rotating, starting the likes of McAtee and O'Reilly, and we'll come on to Kusanov as you hear on my bench next. Kusanov on the bench hasn't started in the last 3. Bit worrying. I am going to take him out, I think, because I can't trust him to start any of the games in the double. So it'll be like playing with 14 on a bench boost. So Kusanov's going to go. Konsa is very, very, very frustrating because that could have. I don't know what my safety score is. I'll just have a look. I'm just thinking, could that have stopped me from getting a red arrow if I had Konsa's points instead? Let's have a look. So my safety is 48, so I'm fairly off safety.
Borderline if you had Konza then.
Yeah, borderline, maybe marginal red, but yeah, very annoying. I was never going to bench the double game week defenders, Burn and Munoz. Saliba could have maybe went with Konsa, but I'll be honest, Konsa playing 90 minutes against PSG, 90 again. I was surprised. It's just one of those. Sometimes it works for you. Saka, I benched Saka, and he was benched as suspected. Konsa didn't go the way, so it's hard to predict, especially around European football this stage of the season. It's hard to call minutes for these players, and that's always one to consider in the future. And then obviously, Areola 2-pointer today against Liverpool after conceding 2 goals. So all in all, not a great week. It is a red arrow, 41 points, and it's a red arrow by a 10% red arrow. So my old rank, I believe, was 448k. It's about 40k red arrow. Bit disappointing in a double game week as well so far. But then again, saying that, it's not confirmed the red because I do still have 6 players left to play on Wednesday who play against each other. Hoping, there's a lot of goals in that one. So I think I could get away with the green still because I've still got 6 players in theory. But we'll have to see how I do on Wednesday. But yeah, I'll take a grey arrow at this point as long as I sort of don't move too much in my rank. And then hopefully next week when I bench boost in 33, more games to be made. Yeah, so that's the team for mine. Jordan, you had a much better week. Even though captaincy maybe hasn't gone amazingly for you so far, you've had a good week because obviously you've had a couple hauls. Talk us through your week.
That seems to be the issue. Sorry, this seems to be the issue of my season. I have a really good week, but I always pick the wrong captain for it. But let's obviously start off with Pickford in goal, who finally has his clean sheet. And I believe it or not, the last time Pickford kept a clean sheet was, I believe, game week 24 when he played Leicester at home. So this is his first clean sheet since then, 8 weeks later. And yeah, very rewarding. 9 points in the end. 1-0 against Nottingham Forest. Decore scored in the late winner. although Pickford did have to make a couple of saves. I think he made 5 in that game. He also got a point for that and bonus 2. So it was a very good game week if you had Pickford in your team with 9 points. Moving on to the back three, so obviously Milenkovic, who did play against him, a bit of a clash there. I was hoping one of them kept a clean sheet, which it did happen. Obviously, Pickford was the one, and Milenkovic wasn't. He only got 2 points. I could have played Mikalenko and gone double Everton defence, but I didn't want to risk it in case they both cancelled each other out or one or the other. And moving on to Munoz, obviously we've spoken about him with his 0 points. Quite a fun game. This is one of my favourite, I think, clashes in terms of teams. I like to watch Crystal Palace and Man City, especially with an early kickoff as well. It's just anything and everything happened in that game, and yeah, it was a good game to watch. Bit of a shame for Munoz not to get any points from it though, but he still has Newcastle way to sort of retrieve some lost points there. And the best thing that happened to my defense obviously was Aït-Nouri, who I think Wolves, I didn't watch the game, but I heard they played really well against Tottenham, who again looked really far-fetched. Obviously playing in the other competition midweek, it always seems to go wrong for them every time they play a game away from the Premier League and come back. And yeah, Wolves, amazing result, 4-2 win in the end. Aït-Nouri with the goal and the assist. So 2 attacking returns for Aït-Nouri, which felt like ages since he's had anything apart from a clean sheet. But yeah, I'm very happy with the 14 points that he got against Tottenham. Really helped with my green arrow. Moving on to the midfield 4, obviously Salah there was 6 points. We spoke about him with his clean sheet and assist in that very edgy 2-1 win against West Ham. It looked a bit uncertain when obviously Robertson scored that own goal and it was 1-1, but luckily Van Dijk saved the day, made it 2-1 in the end. Next to him, obviously Rodgers, who did in fact play and start, played about 84 minutes. I was kind of expecting this, even though there was a suspected rotation in that. But yeah, glad he obviously started. He got an assist, a clean sheet point 2, and was rewarded with 6 points. Moving on to Palmer, who it seems like Chelsea at the moment have gone down a landslide and can't seem to sort of climb their way back up from it again. They were losing 2-0 at one stage, but they did claw it back, making it 2-2. Obviously, Palmer assisted one of the goals, but he also got a yellow card in the mix too. Again, no goal from Palmer. And I believe since game week 21, he hasn't scored a goal. So it has been 11 weeks since Palmer has scored a Premier League goal. And yeah, 4 points. And it's possibly the last week I'll be owning him for this season. And finally, moving on to Sarr, who we mentioned got his assist in that 5-2 loss against Man City with Newcastle away to play. Moving on to the front three, you've got Isaac, who this set my anxiety high when I was watching this game, but I'm quite glad that even though Isaac has another fixture against Crystal Palace at home this week coming up, I'm glad he only got an assist, because at times it looked like he was going to score. Fortunately, the goalkeeper did save it for Man United, one of them, the opportunities, but I'm so glad. I don't know how he didn't manage to score in that game, but with the vice captaincy over him, it's a huge relief until he plays Crystal Palace. Mamouche, again, another player we've talked about, another single game week player who did score and got the bonus 1 point in the end in that 5-2 win with 7 points. And beside him is my disappointment of the week, and was my captain as well, Matata, with only 2 points. Bit concerning, only played 45 minutes. Hopefully there's nothing in that which suspects he won't play or start against Newcastle away. Hopefully, fingers crossed he will. But yeah, hopefully he can sort of claw back some points and sort of match Isaac if he can in his second part of the double game week. And just quickly on the bench, no returns whatsoever apart from Mikalenko, who I mentioned, got the clean sheet. In Burmo blanked, and Huijsen plays Fulham at home. Again, midweek fixture. I think it's Monday night football they play. So that's a wait and see Hopefully he doesn't get anything from the bench. But yeah, overall, it's been a good week. I think single game week players have certainly outdone the double game week ones by far. So I am hoping for the second part of this double game week that the double game week players remain anonymous again, like they have in this part. But it's a Green Arrow, 200k Green Arrow. I was on 1.5 million. I've now jumped up to 1.3, which I'm quite surprised about. I never thought that would be the outcome, the way it was looking from the start of the game week. But yeah, 60 points so far with Munoz, Sar, and Isaac left to play.
And you got Mateta to play, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
4 players. Okay. Let's pull up our teams for double game week 33. Because just bear with me. I'll load up my team. So this is the bus team, guys, for game week 33. Just bear with me. There you go. Quickly read out my 11. So in goal, I've got Raya, who is a double game week against Ipswich and Palace. I have a back three of Konsa with a double game week as well. Munoz with a double game week. Saliba with a double game week. So in my entire defense and goalkeeper double game weeks, which looks good. Saka is back in. He's got a double game week. Sarr had a double game week. Salah has a single game week against Leicester. And again, Liverpool are chasing to win the league. So I'm looking forward to see what Salah could do in this one as the only starting single game week player. Savinho has a double game week, but as you guys know, after that benching, I'm less confident about him as a pick. I think I'm going to just keep him and roll with it now. I don't know what you think, Jordan. I think there's no point taking him back out after the Foden era. I just think I've got to roll with it now rather than trying to switch to KDB. But if you are picking a midfielder, I probably would go for KDB now. But we'll see. Everton next and Villa at home. And Man City are also in a top 4 or top 5 battle for Champions League, so they can't rest on their laurels. And then Murphy, who's got Aston Villa away. Now, I'll come on to Murphy because he's going out the team. And then up front, I've got Mateta and Marmoush, who also have doubles. So going on to the bench, Areola, who's a Southampton at home, which I think is a decent fixture for him. I could potentially see a clean sheet. I've got Kusanov, who, again, I'll have to deal with, I think, because I'm not confident on him. Who's got Everton and Villa. I've got Dan Burn and I've got Alexander Isak. Now, I've got one free transfer, as you guys know. So the plan is, I think for now, the plan is Murphy to Rodgers. I'm certain that's 99% done. And then I'm going to bench boost as well this week, guys. So my bench boost currently consists of Isak against Villa, Burn against Villa, and Kusanov with a double. Now, I want to bring in Vardiol, I think, instead of Kusanov, because I'm just not sure on Kusanov's minutes in that one. And I'm not also keen on Burn, if I'm being honest, either. But what I'm probably going to do, I'm going to do Kusanov to Vardiol. But I will wait for team news. If I hear team news Kusanov starts, I'll probably do leave Kusanov and then do Burn to someone like Bradley at Liverpool or someone like that. But I think this is the way to probably go. Just go Vardiol, get the extra fixture in. That's what I'm probably going to do. It's looking like I'm going to take a -4 hit, which is a bit, annoying. But the wild card, Foden, Gabriel, etc., getting injured, minutes risks. Kusanov, I didn't expect him to just randomly never start again after I brought him in. So that's the plan, I think. -4, Vardiol and Rodgers in. And then I'll bench boost. And my bench boost would consist of Dan Burn, Villa away, which isn't great. Areola against Southampton at home. I'll also have Isak as well on the bench boost. So 2 Newcastle, which isn't ideal. I could take another hit to take out someone like Burn to Bradley. I don't think it's worth it really. Or I can do Isak to someone like a Watkins. Isak to Watkins, because obviously Watkins has a double. But I'm not sure I want to take a -8 this late into the season, if I'm being honest. So it's probably going to be the -4. I would have loved to have another extra transfer, but the Foden Kusanov era has sort of stopped me from having a complete 15 doubles, which was what my initial plan was. But yeah, that's the plan, Jordan.
Yeah, interesting plan. So obviously the -4 might or might not be taken depending on Kushanov's if we get some news that he's going to start or not for both doubles. So because you are taking out a double for another doubler.
Yeah, which is not great. I've just got the minutes wrong completely on Kusanov because he was starting every game before 30. And then ever since I brought him in, he's not played. I know he got married and stuff, but he was on the bench. And yeah, I'm just not confident he's going to start. I'd rather have Vardiol for 2 games. I know he's going to start in. And obviously, Vardiol does have a bit of attacking threat. So I think I'll just bring him in. Dan Burn, bench boosting with Dan Burn and Isak. I mean, Isak's not a bad bench boost, but yeah.
No.
Areola, what's the bench boost? Dan Burn, Vardiol, possibly, and Isak.
Yeah, not a bad bench boost. I mean, Isak can score in any fixture. Dan Burn just needs to get a header.
Yeah. Vardiol, double game week, and then Areola's Southampton home. Yeah, I don't really like the bench boost chip. I'm just glad it's gonna be over, but that's what it's looking like. I'm gonna do. I'll come on to your plans. Obviously, you're in a similar boat, as in, are you looking to bench boost? Because you've still got your bench boost chip. You do need to play it soon. And the longer the season goes on, even more rotation when teams got nothing to play for potentially later down the line. Talk us through your plans.
Yeah, because obviously I'm not in a position to play a bench boost yet because of my non-playing goalkeeper on the bench, and the moves I'm going to make this week sort of cancel me out of activating it. So let's just go for the team. So Pickford in goal has Man City at home. Yeah, not ideal fixture, but I'm going to have to roll with it. Like I mentioned, I've only got one playing goalkeeper for this week. So the back three is Munoz with his double, Milenkovic, who's got Tottenham away, and Nate Nuri, who's got Man United away. Back midfield four is Salah with Leicester, Rodgers with the double, Palmer, and Sarr with his double. With the forwards, Isak, Marmoush with his double, and Mateta. And on the bench, we've got Mbermo, Huijsen, and Mikalenko there as options too. Now, the obvious plan circulates around Palmer because, as I've said, it's been about 11 weeks since Palmer's scored a goal. And the way Chelsea have been playing in recent game weeks have not looked good whatsoever. And if you look at their fixtures upcoming, it's not really a good end to them for the season, as they face Liverpool, Newcastle, Man United, and Nottingham Forest, along with Fulham and Everton up next. So, yeah, I think it is time that Palmer goes from the team because it doesn't feel like he's going to get much traction in the next few game weeks. So if I just go to the transfer page and tell you what my plans are, I was a bit unsure before the stream on who to replace Palmer with, but I think I'm a little bit more clearer now from obviously seeing this game week, who's been playing, who's not. And obviously, I'm going to take Palmer out this week, and the midfielder, and we've spoken about this midfielder through the stream, and it's the one Huss wished he brought in. And I think I'll bring in De Bruyne. I just feel like there's not really anyone else around Palmer's price, apart from Saka, which, again, I don't know how many minutes he's going to play in the double, especially. So I might just take a punt on De Bruyne and see what he can do in his double game week. And it leaves me with a lot of money because he is cheaper than Palmer, 3.7. Yep. And I don't think I necessarily need to do anything else as a team apart from that. I think I'm pretty happy with rolling with the rest of the team and using one free transfer.
Could you do a -4 so it allows you to bench boost, or even maybe take out Mbermo, bring in another double up, take out I'm trying to see who else you've got. Yeah, maybe take out Mbermo, take a risk, bring in an Asensio, or try get another doubler in, possibly.
I mean, possibly to bring another doubler.
Or you go in your defense, or
It's hard though to pick a defender for -4 because
Yeah.
I'm not very hopeful of Man City defender, even though
Mhm.
they played twice. And midfield minutes again for Asensio.
Missed 2 pens, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that as a good positivity. He's taking penalties whilst Watkins is on the pitch, but yeah, I think the only person I'll probably be tempted at is Watkins, but I'd have to replace Isaac for him,
Yeah.
which I don't really want to do. So I think, as much as I like double game week players, I still like the single game week players as well.
Mhm.
I think if Burma get Brighton at home, especially when they drew against Leicester this week, I think I'll keep a hold of him for one more week.
All right, fair enough. Well, there you go. KDB. No one's probably saw that coming from Jordan. Yeah, fresh off a 12-pointer for him as well. So could be an interesting one, especially with chasing. I do like KDB. If I was going to go back, I might have gone KDB now. So, but I'll have to just hope Savinho outscores him at this point. Michael says, I was scared of Savinho being benched and went for Mourinho, who was also benched. Yeah, there you go, guys. A lot of, and you also in game week, double game week 33. You'll not be surprised with Pep and all some of the other players if they do get a benching here and there, even the Villa assets, Palace assets, because we know, especially Aston Villa, who have Champions League on Wednesday, I believe it is. But Man City don't really, but they've got a big squad, and Pep's could just play anyone really.
Yeah, Pep Roulette is literally what's happening in the midfield this season, and there's a lot to play for a lot of teams, like obviously Aston Villa, etc. So yeah, there's going to be a huge rotation.
Michael says, Jordan, differential boss, it's not going your way, bro, at least for now. Good week though for you in terms of your rank.
I think that's the annoying thing though, because it's such a good week, and this has been the problem with my season. I've had such a good week, but I always pick a captain that blanks in the week, and that's the only downturn to this. Otherwise, it's an absolute masterclass of this week if I did pick the right captain.
Well, you never know. Mateo could still outscore Isak. You'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. He's still got one more fixture to return.
Mikey Hammer, shall we bring Barnes? Yeah, Barnes I think is a good pick. But with Gordon now back, I will be slightly worried, to be honest, with the rotation of minutes that Barnes is going to get, because I'd expect. I wouldn't bring Barnes in anymore because the double's over. I wouldn't want a Newcastle asset anymore. I don't think. I mean, looking at the Newcastle's fixtures, I think you missed a boat now because you missed a double, which is Man United and Palace. Those are the games you'd want your Newcastle assets for. With the single game weeks now, I'm not too interested in not Newcastle, if I'm being honest, because Palace, Villa, Ipswich, Brighton, Chelsea, Arsenal, Everton, plus Gordon's back. So I think Barnes is going to get rotated out. As we know, Gordon's first choice. And bring Morgan Rogers in. Yeah, I think Rogers 100%. I'll be bringing him in. I think wait till Wednesday, see how Aston Villa get on against PSG. If they get knocked out, makes Morgan Rogers even better. Likes of Asensio could be a good pick. Rashford, these differentials. Marlin, who scored as well this game week. So yeah, Villa do have some really nice differentials that you could go for to help you climb the rank. Thoughts on Isak to Marmoush for the double or Livramento to Bradley? I do like Marmoush, definitely. If you've not got Marmoush, you want to bring in Marmoush for the double, in my opinion, 100%.
Yeah, it is a gamble though, taking Isak out for him though, because we know Isak can score in any fixture, and even though he's got a single game week, like we've seen from this game week, a lot of single players have outscored the doublers so far, and he could potentially be one of them for double game week 33.
Yeah, ideally you want Isak, Marmoush in the same team, so you might want to get rid of another one of your other forwards in that position. But yeah, that's the plan, guys. I'm gonna bench boost. Jordan's gonna just do the one transfer, and then game week 34 is a big week as well. Free hits are going to be active. I think with a lot of us, a lot of blank game week players we've got on our teams currently. So I'm looking forward to free hit 34. I'm gonna try pick a few differentials. Hopefully, I can get a big week in the 34. I'm looking forward to that. And then season is coming closer and closer. 36 could be a potential double as well, I believe. Apart from that, it's about just taking a few hits. I think you don't want to be taking -8s, etc. Now, obviously, I'll be on a -4, most likely, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, what 6 or 7 game weeks left, right?
Yeah, we're almost in the final stretch now. I think come double game week 36 is probably when I'll use my bench boost, as that'll be the last double game week left.
Yep. Cube races, 71 points last week, 46 this week with 7 to play. Currently 80k. Is that 80k?
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty good. Top 100k. Can't complain. I don't know. I just feel like Isak hasn't been 100% for some weeks. His last mega score was game week 26. Yeah, I mean, Isak's been a bit unlucky, I think, as well in the last 2 games because he could have scored against United. Don't know how he didn't score against Leicester. Again, he does get subbed off around 70, 75, but with Isak, when was his last goal? Brentford. So 2 game weeks ago. Before that, he did get 2 goals against Forest. I wouldn't be getting rid of Isak, but to bring in someone like Watkins, I don't hate it. I'd prefer the double, as you know. I tried to get in as many doublers as possible. In terms of fixtures, they do have some tough games. In Palace, Villa, you expect Ipswich to be quite easy. Brighton away isn't an easy game. Chelsea is going to be a big stakes game. They're both going to be fighting out for Champions League. Arsenal, probably by then the league will be obviously finished, I'd expect. So Newcastle might have Champions League to still play for, but Newcastle, you can't go wrong in terms of they're going to have something to play for. As same as Man City players, But looking at Man City's players, fixtures are a lot nicer. Chelsea was the one we were talking about this. Obviously, Jordan, privately. I think Chelsea don't get top 5. You look at their fixtures. Fulham away, and Fulham away is a tough game. Everton at home, Liverpool, Newcastle, Man U, Forest. How many wins do you see here for Chelsea? I see maybe 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm likely seeing now after that performance against Ipswich. I just don't know with Chelsea. I thought by now they sort of claw it back, but they seem to be just going down the rabbit hole further. So those fixtures don't get any better for them.
They have to play 3 of the top 4. The 3 of the current top 4. Play Everton, who is a tough game now. Just beat Forest. Fulham away, as we saw, is one of the toughest games this season. And Man United at home, which again, Man United is still a traditional top 6 team. So I think Chelsea are in big trouble for top 4 now, and I'll put my neck out on the line. I don't think Chelsea get top 4 now, or sorry, top 5, I should say. I think Chelsea finished 6th, which is mad because at one point they were 2nd in the league and looked like they were going to get top 4.
Yeah, they just looked so good first half of the season, and the slowly just dipped through every game. It's just gone flat ever since. Let's say, what game week would we say that they sort of went downhill by 21 when they drew against Bournemouth? They won against Wolves following that game week, but since then, on the lengthy run of Palmer not scoring, it just seems to have gone downhill. We know without Palmer scoring, Chelsea would struggle, and that's clear they have.
Also, Forest have had a bit of a wobble as well, haven't they? Back-to-back losses now against Everton and Villa, but that's why Newcastle are going to catch them up now. Back-to-back losses. If Newcastle win, they go above Forest in 3rd. Fixtures aren't too bad though. Forest have actually some decent fixtures. That's why I think they're going to get top 5. Spurs, Brentford, Palace, Leicester, West Ham, Chelsea. You think they'd get enough wins? 3 or 4 wins there should maybe get them over the line, and it will be a great season for them anyway. The other contender, Villa, I think they'll miss out. Fixtures quite tough. Newcastle, Man City, Fulham, Bournemouth, Spurs, and Man United.
Yeah, it is a balancing act for Aston Villa being in the other comps because they've not experienced it. And it's going to take a toll on them.
Next 2 are big for Villa though. Newcastle, Man City. We'll know a lot more for Aston Villa after these 2. If they can win one of these games, it will be big for them. Who knows?
Absolutely.
I feel I can get away selling Isak this week and free hitting him back in 34. Yeah, you can always free hit Isak back in 34 and then avoid him for 35 onwards. Besides that, I know he's fixture proof, but the fixtures aren't great, not too bad either. But one thing they do have, Michael, as we mentioned, they have something to play for, Newcastle, which is a big factor, especially with most things. Relegation's pretty wrapped up. I think if Liverpool win next week against Leicester, Leicester are officially relegated. Liverpool, pretty much titles wrapped up. Top four is only the real thing that's on jeopardy now, I think. So those teams will always, be given it what they have because they've got things to fight for.
Yeah, there's going to be other focus, obviously, in other competitions from Arsenal and other teams. So yeah, you have to be wary on what players you have by that moment.
Even Arsenal, if you'd expect Arsenal now to go through against Madrid, I think if Arsenal go through, does Saka become a risk against Ipswich and Palace? You think so? Would he? I doubt he'll play 90 in both. So that's one to watch as well. Arsenal players, if they go through, which I think they will now, because the title's gone for Arsenal, they'll be completely focused on the Champions League tie against PSG if they were to go through, and PSG as we expect now. Patrick says, hi, 56 points for me this week. Bought an Asensio for Foden with 2 penalties missed. Worth doing Murphy and Isak, out for De Bruyne and Wood, João Pedro. He's going to get good minutes with him leaving. Yeah, we spoke about it. De Bruyne. I think he's the one probably we'll take a punt on. It's exciting. And there's not much other picks. You can go Saka, but De Bruyne's, his last season is confirmed he's leaving, so he's going to get minutes, I think. And I'd probably take the punt on De Bruyne if I was chasing. And João Pedro, and he keeps scoring penalties. Another 2 penalties he scored.
I couldn't believe it when I saw that. When I saw it pop up, 2 penalties scored by João Pedro, the player that has literally been the troll of this season, has scored a massive haul again in the in this double game. It's just, you can't write it, you can't script it. How João Pedro does this when we don't have him, and when we do own him, he's absolutely nothing. Yep.
As always. But I think we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Won't be a long one. I think that's pretty. And then unless you want to cover anything else, Jordan, I think pretty much covered basics of how this game week is on. There's still a long way to go because obviously they're that double on Wednesday that I'm looking forward to. I need something big to avoid the red, but
we'll see. I'll be certainly hiding behind the sofa against Newcastle when they obviously play in their second part of the double against Crystal Palace. Hopefully Isak stays quiet in that game again without a goal, and I'll be very relieved, as I think that would secure my green arrow. But if he does pull off a madness, I could say goodbye to that green arrow and say hello to the red one at 1.6 mil.
Yep. Even someone like Murphy, if he pops off, hopefully
Murphy.
For me. Even Dan Burn, I'm looking at these guys and thinking if they can get me some goals, but we'll see.
Yeah, quite possible.
But yeah, guys, hit the like button if you've enjoyed the content. Make sure you stay subscribed to the channel, and also, drop a comment as well. Helps with the algorithm. But take care. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you again on the next one.
Yeah, take care, guys. Enjoy the weekend.